The pandemic forced all of us to change how we live and work. But for some, they watched their entire livelihood disappear. Now, as things start to return to normal, we spoke with a few local performers about the past year and how they were able to capitalize on their time in lockdown. This is Katrina Glaze, a violinist who's made a name for herself in North Texas, performing night after night. But in 2020, COVID hit, and her life quickly changed.
I saw my income literally go from, having all of these gigs to losing about 18 grand in 48 hours.
Like many performers, as venues shut down, she was left to wonder how she was going to make ends meet.
Really, it was, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay bills? How am I going to, support myself when my entire income is gone?
For someone who's been a performer since the age of 4, she knew she had to think outside the box to reach her fans.
A lot of us put together online concerts, YouTube live concerts, we did Facebook live concerts.
From Facebook to TikTok, Katrina got creative. 1, 2, 3, hop!
I had a wonderful community that kind of rallied around me and encouraged me to, keep going.
Fast forward 7 months and 60,000 followers later, she's connected with a whole new audience, even producing a full album right from inside her bedroom.
The crazy thing about all of this is that if the pandemic had not happened, and I'm talking about specifically from a career standpoint for me, I would not have taken the time or had the time really, because my gig schedule was so insane, to sit down and learn new skills, such as learning to record myself.
And she's not the only one seeing the positives of the pandemic.
It forced us to slow down a little bit, which, you normally don't like in the life that is get up and go.
Kyle Ignacy and David Corus are the co-founders of the first Fisticuff Puppet Company. As childhood friends, they've been through a lot together, but 2020 brought out one of their biggest challenges to date.
I mean, it's not been an easy year, for anybody. Year and a half almost, at this point. But there is kind of that mindset of, okay, well, now what's next?
Despite the tough times, they too got creative.
This really became a way to control when you couldn't control. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you couldn't control what was going on outside, at least in here, I want to make this dinosaur, I want to make this fish.
Instead of focusing on the negatives, they hunkered down and brought their ideas to life in the form of puppets. They now work with production companies from across the country, bringing joy to the lives of children who were also forced to stay home.
We made this as a way to teach kids and families how to learn puppetry.
The pandemic also gave them time to learn about themselves and do things that they never imagined.
No matter what we're doing, we always, this is in acting, this is in singing, this is in music, and in building, we always try to introduce something new that we haven't done before.
Which included looking into each of their families' histories, connecting with their grandmothers, and even calling up Mom to learn how to sew.
I got on Zoom with my mom and my grandmother was sitting next to her. I was like, how do I sew stretch material? I don't know how to do that.
But there's one thing all of these local performers do know, and that's hope.
I can do something, I can feel like I've achieved something, even if it's something small.
Find what does make you smile. What's worth waking up and spending your time doing.
You made it. You're on the other side, and gigs are going to come back, and we are going to get back to doing the thing that we love. So hang in there. Well, despite things returning to normal, there's still a long road of recovery ahead for the performing arts. You can support all local artists by attending local shows at small venues. Dallas Summer Musicals and Bass Hall have announced the return of shows. Tickets are available online.